Hello, it is Miss Hay again. I am here ready to talk you through how to do section 2 of the personal statement. So in this section, you are going to answer the following question. How have your qualifications and studies helped you to prepare for this course or subject? So, first thing is supercurricular activities. So you might be thinking, what are supercurricular activities? Well, they are the things you do outside of your normal lessons that deepen your understanding of the subjects you're studying or want to study in the future. So unlike extracurricular activities like sports or music, which is what you talked about in section 3 of your personal statement, supercurriculars are directly related to academic learning and show that you're genuinely interested in your subject beyond the classroom. So it's these types of things that you are going to include in section 2. So, what are examples of supercurricular? Well, it could be reading books or articles, watching university lectures online, listening to subject-specific podcasts, completing MOOCs, attending lectures, or writing essays as part of essay competitions online. So universities, especially your top universities, really value supercurricular activities because they show that you've got that curiosity, the motivation and a love of learning. However, how you write about supercurricular activities is really key. So admissions tutors aren't just looking for you to write a detailed summary of the book or the podcast or the activity that you've engaged with, because often if it's a particularly famous book, they'll probably have read that book themselves. They don't need you to write a paragraph explaining what it is. Instead, they want to see how it challenged your thinking, deepened your understanding, or sparked new questions about the subject for you. So you need to focus on what you've learnt, how it connects to your subject interests, and how it's influenced the way you think. So this is what really makes a supercurricular activity stand out in a personal statement. It's not just describing the activity, it's what you've gained from that activity. Okay, let's have a look at your academic enrichment options, because within here there's some things that you could write about for section 2. So you might have picked core maths. Well done if you did, good choice. So as part of A for activity, you do core maths, talk about the statistical techniques that you've learnt. B for the benefit is you have learnt how to analyse and critically evaluate data, especially with real life data sets. C, link it to the course. So these skills would be directly applicable to the research methods section of my psychology degree, where I will need to design experiments and assess quantitative findings accurately. So, key thing to note here is that the majority of degrees are out there. You will do a research methods module. Within that, you'll need stats. So look at the course that you're applying for, see whether it involves research methods. If so, link the maths that you are doing in core maths to the maths that you will need for that course. If you are studying a business related degree, ideal, you can talk about the financial maths that you have done within core maths. So for instance, calculating tax, national insurance, mortgages, loans, etc. Okay, if you are applying for an apprenticeship, core maths is obviously ideal because employers want people who can do maths, are numerate. If you did the EPQ, so for the activity, describe, explain the project that you did, the area that you were researching. B is your benefits, so talk about what you gained from that. C, link it back to your course. So ideally it will be linked to something that you want to study in the future. If it isn't, you can talk about this independent learning skills, the fact that you completed an independent research project on your own. Well, that's all equipping you for undergraduate study at university. I would say go back to slide 24. So I've sent you all of you the PowerPoint, and that bullet points the types of things that universities want you to talk about as to what you've gained from doing things like an EPQ. Okay, you may have done a MOOC on a Wednesday afternoon. So that's another great thing that universities like. So activity, describe the MOOC that you did. Okay, again, just very briefly, ideally explain what made you choose that MOOC. So did you learn about something in class that you wanted to learn more about? So that encouraged you to go away and do a MOOC on that area. Or maybe you read something, you wanted to go away and learn more about it. So B, what did you gain from the MOOC? How did it change your thinking? How did it develop your thinking? C, link it to the course that you want to do or the apprenticeship that you want to apply for. Okay, has it confirmed your interest in the subject or in the career that you want to go into? Again, look at the speech bubble on slide 24 because that will give you ideas of how to write about what you gained from doing the MOOC. If you are a subject rep, excellent. Don't forget to include this. Don't forget to say that you were elected. Okay, that makes you sound a little bit better, even if you were the only person to apply for the role. So, activity, describe what you do as a subject representative. So you will take part in Student Voice next year. You'll represent the subject at open evenings. You're talking to a wide range of people. B, the benefits. Well, it's helped develop your communication and leadership skills. It's helped allow you to present the information to a different range of audiences. And for linking to your course or future apprenticeship, teamwork, clear communication, your ability to present ideas effectively, all of those skills are really crucial for whatever you are planning on doing, whether that be a course or apprenticeship after your sixth form studies. So you might have taken part in the Chemistry Olympiad or the Senior Maths Challenge. Again, those two things are brilliant. You can have a read of this on the PowerPoint that I sent you, but don't forget to include those. So, next up, it's time to reflect on each of your academic subjects. Can you identify a topic, theory or project that helped prepare you for or inspired your choice of degree? Or the skills that you would have got from doing one of the topic or the theory or the project that will help you for your apprenticeship? How did it spark your interest, deepen your understanding, or develop relevant knowledge for your chosen course or apprenticeship choice? I would suggest using the writing frame on the following slide to help you do that. So again, remember, I've emailed this to you yesterday, this PowerPoint, so you can have a look on there. So describe something specific you studied or did in the subject. So be specific, please don't be vague. So it could be a topic, a unit or a module you found particularly interesting. It could be a bit of coursework or a course study or a case study even, a theory, concept, real world example that stood out. There's a few example sentence starters that you could use there. Let's move on to B for the benefit. So explain what you learned or how it made you think differently. So what insight or understanding did you gain from it? What questions did it raise for you? Could you make any connections to real world issues or your future career? Then link it to the course. When I say course, it's either university course or your apprenticeship. So how has this subject experience prepared you for studying the degree or going into a particular area of an apprenticeship? Why has it made you want to learn more in that area, and how does it connect to your career interests, for instance? So again, there are some example sentence starters that you can use. So over to you. What you're going to do for the rest of form time today is you are going to talk about the qualifications and studies that you've done that's helped you prepare for this course or subject. So make sure you use the examples on the previous slides. You've got a copy of this PowerPoint. Talk to your tutor will support you in doing this, and over to you to complete the booklet.